Hello, I'm CJ Miller. I'm in my apartment in Shreveport, Louisiana, downtown. And across the Red River is beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. Now this is something that I'm going to call pork chop Espagnole with Trinity. Basically, it's so simple. Um, I had company coming over, and I was like, "Hey, do you want me to fry some pork chops, or I could maybe do them in a gravy or something like that with some smothered vegetables over them or something like that." And he was like, "Yeah, let's do that," which is cool, which is great. So here's my method for it. Real simple. It's going to seem like a lot. It's really not. I took some oil and I took the Trinity, celery, onion, bell peppers, put them in the bottom of a pan, let them get to the point where the onions were no longer opaque, but they were more translucent, coming on to being transparent. Okay? While that was going on, the pork chops that I had marinated, uh, I took the pork chops a couple at a time, browned them in a large skillet. I didn't cook them all the way. I just browned them on each side. Got a little caramelization flavor, and then set it off to the side while I went back to the sauce. By this time, it's ready for me to move on. So I take a little to the oil and to the Trinity. That's your celery, onion, bell pepper that is now got translucent chopped onions. Basically, what I do from there is add about a teaspoon at a time, give or take, of all-purpose flour until I'm getting the thickness that I want. Now, this is because there's vegetables in here. It's better to add it a little bit later at a time, because what's going to happen is the flour is going to want to cling to the vegetables anyway. It's going to pull up and soak up the oil and the fat that's in the bottom of the pan, but it's also going to bind to the fluids that have come out of the vegetables, and it's going to pull back to that vegetable. So it's going to be kind of a non-traditional roux, because a roux, really you make it a roux you make with the oil and the flour first. So you could do that. One way you said you could pour your oil off of your vegetables and then make your roux that way, or you could do it the way that I described it, which is very gently, very or gingerly, whatever, very carefully adding the amount of flour that you want to have, a little at a time, until you get to the consistency that you want. And it is going to darken and thicken. And then what happens is we go in and we add some of the stock that was marinating, that I had the pork chops marinating in, because they didn't marinate very long, and I'm not really going to worry about cross contamination, because they weren't sitting out marinating. They were in the refrigerator in a very covered, cold environment. And basically, I'm cooking so at such a heat that it's really gonna be not a problem. So you can see that there's still a lot of natural juices coming out of these pork chops, because I didn't cook them all the way. When I marinated them, pull them out of the marinade, and then browned them just a little on each side, set them aside so that I can add them back to the gravy later, basically. And but I used some of that stock to bring up. I've added it to the roux when the roux was dark enough, and that gives a nice flavor, gets it nice and saucy and ready to go. And I can put the pork chops back in, and now I can just watch it, and these can just stay here and they can cook until they're done. And then when they're done, I can just keep them warmed until it's time to eat. It's very simple. And also on the side of this, I'm going to have French fries, or fritas, if we were doing French in the French language, yeah. And so we can have the French fries with the gravy over that. or my friend can have ketchup if he wants ketchup over his fries or whatever. Some people might want mayo. I love to dip mayo on my fries, but in this case, I'm going to use gravy. So yay! And I'm just happy to be able to be cooking again and to be able to use my dishwasher that we hear going in the background, that they got it working again. Okay, love and light, and bon appetit. Bye.